Gossip is idle talk or rumors, often negative, about the private affairs of others, typically spread without their consent or in their absence. While sometimes seen as a way to bond, the true meaning of gossip emphasizes the harmful intent to damage reputation, elevate oneself, or spread malicious information behind someone's back. A person who just habitually reveals personal facts about others. So a quick backstory on gossip, because it's something that obviously I've done before in the past. Back in college, my sister, she was in high school at the time, but she was so interested to learn more about what my day-to-day life was in college, and I actually lived on campus, so it was more entertaining for her, I guess. So she wanted to know what was happening on my day-to-day, down to my college friends. I started sharing things with her about my friends, the classes, the events that I went to. So she just wanted like a big picture of what was happening, and I gave it to her. I found myself mindlessly gossiping about everyone and everything to my sister once I got home over the weekend. So in the back of my mind, this was harmless, or what we call in this series a small little thing, because she didn't know any of these people I was speaking on. She made note of them, but she had no connection to them as much as I did. All in all, I trusted my sister, and who would she actually tell to this anyway? Like I couldn't picture her yapping about what I told her in private about something that was happening to my friends in college or just in general. I thought we were bonding. She wanted to know what college life was. So I was like, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give you even the perspective of other people that I know and that I interact with every day. Gossiping with my sister, I just knew that she was the end of the line. So I didn't see no harm in telling her other people's business, whether it was my friends in that scenario, because she was the end of the line for me. If I told her something, I just knew she wasn't going to say it to the next person. So I trusted her. And to this day, I don't even think she had said anything that I had told her. It was just that bond that I built with her, and that's what I was basing it off of. That's how harmless it was to me. So being on the other side of gossip is also us hearing gossip from other people. So, for example, I have aunties in my family, and they are known to gossip. It is so bad. They are known to gossip, and it's been going on for years, probably since the day I was born. So in that case, nothing is kept private. What is told to them, they feel they have the right to announce to the next person, as if there's nothing else to talk about. Then on top of the gossip, add in their own opinion. Now, we can all agree that that's pretty much toxic and harmful in its own capacity. So let's zoom out for a bit here. Let's look at the long-term damage that gossip actually causes. We must realize that gossip slowly tears down relationships one layer at a time. Each time we share something spoken in confidence, in private, we weaken the foundation of trust. Trust is truly the foundation of friendship, connection, and relationship. What once was a fortress becomes really fragile, leaving room for exposure and misunderstanding. Repeating what someone told you in private can also distort the view of that person through the opinion of the person you choose to share that with. It opens the doors to confusion, judgment, and ultimately destruction. So it actually reminds me of the wisdom that's in Proverbs 18:21, and I took it out of the Message version, which says, "Words kill, words give life. They're either poison or fruit. You choose." Let me break this down even further, and let me ask you guys, what other verses in the Bible consist of the word kill? Here's an easy one. What does the enemy do? Y'all know this, because if I say it and y'all be like, you guys know this, what does the enemy do? In the back.
Steal, kill, destroy.
There you go. The enemy is out to steal, kill, and destroy. Therefore, when our words kill, who are we partnering with? Go ahead in the back.
The enemy.
Yep, we are partnering with Satan. When our words give life, we are not entertaining the enemy. We are partnering with the Holy Spirit. Self-control, as we all know, as we've learned the last couple weeks, is a fruit of the Spirit. Self-control is so vital when having this fleshy desire to want to gossip. In the NLT version of the Proverbs that I just read, Proverbs 18, verse 21, it says, "The tongue can bring death or life. Those who love to talk will reap the consequences." We all know we've had a disclaimer before gossiping. Some of my favorites were, "You can't tell anyone, okay?" Or, "I know something you don't know." Or lastly, simply, "Hey, guess what?" And if the other person says yes or what, then it's a green light to proceed. This to me, as the definition I shared earlier, is a way to elevate oneself. It's like saying, "Hey, I have this information about someone, it's so juicy, let me be the bearer of the news. Let me entice this person that I'm about to tell it to, feed off the energy of tell me more." Comparison and jealousy can also be the motive to spread gossip, which the enemy completely fuels because it's his goal to divide. We can find ourselves talking in circles about what was shared because we're quote unquote having girl time. We're quote unquote having tea time. We're bonding, we're yapping, right? The flesh truly craves excitement and chaos. And sadly, gossip provides that rush. It feels good in the moment, but it's destructive long term. When we share information meant to be kept, the next person to know can twist, add made up details, say what they wanted to hear versus what was really said. And now we have a web of lies. And let me just put it out there. Gossip is typically stereotyped as a woman's issue or women's issue. However, I hate to break it to you guys, but men do gossip as well. Some disclaimers may be locker room talk, word on the street, low key. Some topics on the men's side can be failures, achievement, leadership, decisions, or status. With that said, let me point out to Luke chapter 3, verse 45. In the NLT version, it says, "A good person produces good things from the treasury of a good heart, and an evil person produces evil things from the treasury of an evil heart." What you say flows from what is in your heart. This right here, it's universal. This is both for men and women. Both fall into gossip because it's a heart issue. It's not a gender issue. So ask yourself, what is stored in your heart? Is it jealousy, pride, bitterness, comparison, shame? Or do we have in our hearts love, compassion, peace, truth, understanding? Another question I want to ask myself was, what would Jesus do? So let me tell you. So if we look at John chapter 8, verse 1 through 11, I can actually read it for you guys as well. So it goes, "At dawn, he went to the temple complex again, and all the people were coming to him. He sat down and began to teach them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman caught in adultery, making her stand in the center. 'Teacher,' they said to him, 'this woman was caught in the act of committing adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So what do you say?" They asked him to trap him in order that they might have evidence to accuse him. Jesus stooped down and started writing on the ground with his finger. When they persisted in questioning him, he stood up and said to them, "The one without sin among you should be the first to throw a stone at her." Then he stooped down again and continued to write on the ground. When they heard this, they left one by one, starting with the older men. Only he was left with the woman in the center. When Jesus stood up, he said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" "No one, Lord," she answered. "Neither do I condemn you," said Jesus. "Go, and from now on, do not sin anymore." This was gossip in action. Jesus had top-tier self-control. The Pharisees were wrapped up in the chaos, and their spirit craved so much to box Jesus in to finally accuse him, right? However, we all know Jesus is known to flip some tables, but he can also flip the script. The compassion he had for this woman. She was literally berated in public, shamed, all for the crowd to witness. Jesus called for self-reflection versus condemnation. The Pharisees thought they had so much power, but what they got was a public heart check. When you find yourselves in situations of hearing gossip, we need to get to the root, not to the T. Ask yourself, is this conversation holding value? Is it promoting lies? Is it speaking life? Is the person even here to defend themselves? Don't clock the conversation. Sometimes we have to clock out. As I close, let me leave you with 3 ways to conquer gossip. The first one, be Holy Spirit led. Be quick with the Holy Spirit. You don't have to fight your flesh by yourself. The Holy Spirit is there to equip you with the words and, importantly, the conviction that your heart needs. As it says in Galatians 5, verse 25 to 26, since we are living by the Spirit, let us follow the Spirit's leading in every part of our lives. Let us not become conceited or provoke one another or be jealous of one another. 2, allow your words to be of encouragement. That comes from Ephesians 4:29, where it says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. 3, model integrity. Be known as someone who doesn't engage in gossip. Flip the script like Jesus. Your example can influence others to follow suit. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, it says, in the same way, let your light shine before others, that they see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. And in closing, we should always remember, the tea gets cold, but the truth stays hot. And that is all from Miss Cat tonight.